a few spots have had near clear water up until this point.
Fish.
But with the wind starting to pick up more now, what were even middle-of-the-road visibility waters on the now wind-blown shorelines.
I'm ready. Bring him up nice and easy to you. Oh, there he is, man. There he is.
Oh, nice one.
Nice.
Woo!
Yeah, all right.
Probably are clouding up more, which could explain the increasing solid lockup Keith and Jim have over these North Dakota walleye and pike.
You know, that's the thing about here is that you catch a lot of fish, and every once in a while you get one of these bad boys.
Using a new color of flicker shad, Pink Shine.
Chunky
He's
little
living
thing,
shallow.
huh?
He's got that green back.
I like that to live in shallow because that crankbait can get to him then. Tell you what, when you come up to Devil's Lake, and especially if you get to fish in some of these newer bodies of water that have flooded in, you're going to find that there's just a ton of fish. And so what we've been doing to find these fish is once we kind of pick a shoreline that we think looks good, we actually just turn our trolling motor up on high and start covering a lot of water. I'm going to throw this guy back here and look for activity. And what I really like to see is if there's big fish in the area, and it can be big pike and hopefully big walleyes. They tend to stack together. And then what we typically use is crankbaits. And when we're throwing those crankbaits, we're just fan casting. Now the nice thing is in this June time frame, it doesn't seem like the fish are really tucked up tight into the timber. So what you can do is actually cast out at the edges and then bring it back. When you're bringing that crankbait back though, what you want to do is be feeling for a bite. Now some of them will just hammer it, but a lot of times fish will swipe at it or peck at it, and you'll feel that, especially if you're using the no stretch lines. And if you feel that and they don't bite, what you can do is a lot of times slow down your retrieve. You can stop and twitch a little, just change things up a little, and a lot of times that'll get those fish to trigger. And it's not just the northern pike, even the walleyes. So cover some water, look for activity, and then once you are casting there, try and change things up to get those fish to bite.
Gusting winds on Devil's Lake can be a great opportunity to move.
You ready?
New spot.
Maybe to even one of your best spots sought out earlier, provided it is located along a windy shoreline in order to seek out actively feeding walleyes.
All right, Jim, come on. I'm gonna just try and hold this against this wind. He's a nice fish. I saw one flash of him.
Hopefully increasing your chances of catching some bigger ones.
Where's he at?
I liked it better when it was a little calmer.
Yeah!
That's a good one. I'm gonna hold us off the shore here if you can get him unhooked. This wind came up a little and we went over to a windy side of the bank. All day we've had activity on the kind of the cups, right?
Yeah.
Not the points, but down the bank a little bit where the wind is blowing in. And we felt that wind come up. We were over on the calm side of the lake. Quick ran over here and set up just before the cup, got right in it, and Pink Shine strikes. Bang! It's a nice fish. Why don't you see if I unhook him there, Jim? I'll kind of hold on to him, and I'm going to keep us kind of away from the bank players here. It's always a good idea when you're anywhere in the Dakotas, but even on Devil's Lake here in the shallow water fish, when they come up and start, when the wind starts blowing, I don't know if it starts knocking them shrimp off the trees or what, or just gets things going, and a lot of times it causes the great activity like that. So, well, let's let her back in the cup, I guess.
Catching big pike on smaller tackle while searching for big walleyes is a lot of fun, but every angler knows that the same hooks that guarantee you that hookup can turn on you in less than an instant when even the smallest of the scissor lip brigade decides to get squirrely as you handle them for the release.
These are the dangerous ones. So I've intentionally driven a hook into my hand here so that we can display how you might actually take a hook out. Just grabbing these fish, northerns are a little slimy. Triple grips are very sharp, and when they go in, they just don't slide out. So I think Jim's actually gonna try putting some braid on it and you just kind of pop it out. So we'll see how that works. I've done it before with pliers too, so we'll get it out. But it is a little tender right now.
I've only seen it fail one time.
So is that going around the hook?
Yeah, we're gonna go around the hook. Let me see what you got here. You got her ice down good?
Sure, why not?
The ice takes a lot of the pain away.
Uh-huh. Oh, Jesus.
Okay. There we go. I want a little bit of ice.
But as long as we're on the subject of what works.
Oh, yeah! You didn't even feel that. I've done that 100 times.
Besides TV Dr. Carroll's impromptu trusty hook removal kit,
Dr. Jimmy.
what else in a light tackle setup do you need to be prepared for casting for walleye and northern pike?
Let's take a look at the equipment that we're using today for casting for these walleye and pike. We are using a little bit lighter equipment because we really are trying to target walleye. So I might go a little bit heavier if I was just doing pike. What I'm using for a rod is a 7-foot long rod. I like a little bit longer rod so that you can get good distance on your cast. And it's got what's called a slow taper to it. And the reason for that is as you're cranking this back and a fish hits it, you need some shock absorption so that you just don't tear the hooks right out of the fish's mouth. Because the line that we're using is a no stretch line. And the reason I like to use that is, first of all, I can feel if that bait is vibrating right. So if it picks up a little chunk of moss or weed or something, I know right away I'm hung up. The other thing though is that when a fish actually comes after it, you can literally feel him swipe at the bait and miss it. You can feel him pecking at the bait and missing it. And then you can change up your action to try and trigger those fish. Now on the end of this, I'm not tying directly to the crankbait itself. We're actually tying a little bit of a leader on there. You just want to use any kind of real light kind of a wire leader or like a tieable titanium like we're using today. Put on a small clip on the end here and then of course your crankbait. We found today that pretty much anything with a white belly and then either pink or red on it seems to be really, really good. And that's pretty standard here in Devil's Lake with the freshwater shrimp that they've got. Just take a look at this lure here, all those bite marks in it. That's from about 3 hours of fishing. So super fun catching it on this light equipment out here in Devil's Lake.
Leading information on tackle and techniques to make you a better fisherman. Presented by Mercury.
I'm here at Mercury Marine with Dirk Bjornstad, and props are extremely important to the performance of the boat. Tell us a little bit about these props. You got 3, 4, and 5 blades here.
Absolutely. That's a real common question we get from boaters. What do I need? Do I need a 3-blade, a 4-blade, or 5-blade prop for my boat? So the first one we have here is a Vengeance propeller. It's a 3-blade, very much a standard fitment stainless steel propeller. We make these all the way from 25 horsepower all the way up to 300 horsepower. Got a round ear design, very good on top speed, very good on hole shot as well. Generally a propeller with no bad habits. We're getting a 4-blade today. What I'm showing here is a Bravo 1. Now originally this prop was developed for the big block stern drive applications. Okay. But now that we're seeing outboards or 250, 300 horsepower 4-stroke outboards, what you need is a very aggressive prop with that extra blade area to simply absorb all that horsepower. Now in the 5-blade design, typically that design is favored by some of the rough water boaters, so Lake Erie, the Bay of Green Bay tournament also, a lot of folks will run the high 5. Now typically you might say, okay, 3 blades are for speed, 5 blades are for hole shot. But actually in a rough water condition, due to how well the 5-blade propeller holds, the 5-blade actually will be the fastest propeller in that particular condition. Right. Old adages generally do hold true, 3-blade propellers for top speed, 4 and 5-blade for hole shot, but depends on the kind of conditions and it depends on the kind of boat.